We finally have 4K 120 in the ZVE1. How'd that test footage look? I haven't seen it yet because I just shot it, but let's jump over to editor Sean and see what he thinks. I'm out here in Pennsylvania and we're getting, I'm not sure if you can see this back there, but pretty cool lighting. We're getting some of this hazy smokiness down from the Canadian wildfires. Figure it was kind of a cool scene to shoot some 4K 120 test footage. But let's jump back to the studio. I want to take a look at exactly how to install this firmware update, the crop factor, as well as, of course, overheating. How to install this firmware update on your ZVE1. Go to this website. I'll link it down below to save you some time. You'll need your serial number from your camera ready to go, and you're gonna plug that in right here. After that, you can go ahead and download the file and make sure that that downloaded file says exactly this file name. Transfer that file to your SD card and put it in this folder. That should work, and you'll find out if it did in just 1 second, but if it ends up not working, you can try it in either this folder or even this one. Next, turn your camera on and make sure that it's in video mode, then put the SD card in. If you got it right, you should see this prompt. If you don't get that prompt, like I said earlier, you can put that downloaded file in a different place on your SD card in one of those 2 spots that I showed you. I had to play around with this to get that prompt to show up. So if you're not getting it right now, try it in a different spot and repeat those steps until you see the prompt. Once that prompt comes up, go ahead and accept the license. That's gonna boot the firmware update into your camera. The camera is gonna do a really quick restart and you're good to go. And after you do that, go ahead and take a look at your file formats in your camera. You can do this in different codecs, in 4K XAVC-S or 4K XAVC-HS, and you should see that you now have 4K 120 frames per second available. My go-to on this has been XAVC-S, 4K 120 frames a second. Whichever one that you choose, just make sure that you're using the 422 10-bit color, so that way you get the best looking image out of this new 4K 120. What about the crop factor? The nice thing with this camera is that we're only getting a 10% crop when shooting in 4K 120. This is what a 10% crop looks like. It's really not much. The only real downside there is that the ZVE1 is a true 4K sensor, so any cropping that we do on it, you're gonna lose a little bit of quality. But I don't know about you, those test shots that we did, I think those looked really good. Moving into overheating, I did a quick test on this. I was in a 71-degree environment. I had my back screen on the camera open, and I was able to get about 12 minutes of continuous recording in 4K 120. I was in XAVC-S at 422 10-bit. I got about 12 minutes before the indicator showed up that the camera's getting a little bit too warm, and I got it to completely turn off close to 13 minutes. I did have my auto turn off temp set to high, which I recommend to do in these cameras anyways, but that's what you can expect from the test that I got, is about 12 to 13 minutes of continuous 4K 120. I can't remember the last time I shot continuous in 120 frames a second for longer than like 60 seconds. That's what I'll be using 4K 120, is just to grab some quick bursty shots for some nice slow motion. But if you need to shoot continuous 4K 120, you might want to consider the overheating aspect with the ZVE1. I'm really excited that we have this 4K 120 in the ZVE1, and I plan on using it a ton. And y'all have been asking me how to connect with me one-on-one to maybe ask some of your deeper questions you have about these cameras or about video or photo editing. I'm working on something. I'm really excited about this, and it's coming very, very soon. If you want to see more videos like this one about the Sony ZVE1, check out this playlist, because I have dedicated an entire playlist to this camera and have some really good stuff on there. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. See ya.